Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the channel, my podcast series. We're doing something new where I'm having these premiere in the morning, kind of like a talk radio show. Be kind of cool. Usually I do the video, but sometimes I will have uh, the video clips. I'm not trying to, you know, make money off of these or anything. It's strictly for educational purposes only, especially for today's episode. Um, Today is Wednesday. We got AEW Dynamite. I'm really excited for that. Throughout the week, I'm going to be doing some drawing, and I'm looking forward to the debut of season 2 of my co-watch party of Tokusatsu Super Sentai with the Bat Channel. Like and subscribe to my boys, the Bat Channel. They're awesome. They cover a lot of fun stuff, and they're just a delight and very deep and entertaining. I love these guys. So check them out and like and subscribe to the Bat Channel. So that's some stuff you can look forward to. If you're new to the channel, I would let you know that I am an artist, independent filmmaker, gamer, and content creator, because here I am. But also, I've come to accept the fact that I will always be an activist. I never really saw myself as an activist, but there's certain things that are very, very important, especially when it comes to humanity. I'm really big on that. I know there are some people who are very passionate about the planet, as we should be, and people are passionate about animal rights, diets, even. Um, I think anyone who's passionate about something that does have some good beneficial um, outcomes, like awareness, or maybe we shouldn't waste water, or stuff like that. However you think, however you roll, I think it's good to listen to people who really care about things that help the planet, help each other, help life in general. It's good to listen to people like that. Um, there's the obvious line with, toxic or being rude, and, that's just conduct. That's something we could all work together. Because what I'm going to talk about in today's episode, people could probably categorize it as political. I don't like that, because there's this weird negative stigma that we shouldn't talk about religion or politics. And I feel that's because the end result of such differing opinions and perspectives get angry and aggressive in conversation, or a debate feels like it turns into a fight. Now, my outlook on that is that all is determined towards an ability to listen and conduct. Not the topic, but how we talk is something we should address. So we shouldn't avoid talking about religion. We shouldn't avoid talking about politics. We shouldn't avoid talking about anything that's important in our society, our lives, our spirituality. We should be talking about these things. What we should refrain from is rudeness, um, rude conduct. You know, um, if we could have mature conversations and understand each other instead of avoiding important conversations, we could probably handle them a lot better and in a more mature fashion. We should be challenging our minds, our spirits, our hearts, so we can grow, so we can be better together. Everyone, we're all in this together. If you zoom out, we're on this little tiny rock in the huge vacuum of space spinning around. It's pretty crazy. We are all we have. So, yes, I'm going to be talking about Palestine. And I hope you can open up your hearts and your minds to what's been going on for the last 15 months. Has been proven to go on. This is no conspiracy theory of anything. And there's no hate in what I'm going to be talking about. There might be frustration, but that's normal when crimes are permitted, when crimes are normalized against other human beings, even children, specifically children. I cannot condone that. So yeah, I appreciate you listening, and What sparks this is a couple things that I've heard recently. Now, if you check out my last episode, I've had a wonderful reaction with my boy Hamad Al Mansouri. Check that out if you haven't already. Um, we have the Super Bowl halftime show, Kendrick Lamar. Fantastic show from what I see. I don't watch football, even though it's a big event. You know me. I'm a patron of the arts and sports entertainment and athleticism of pro wrestling, the drama, the sportsmanship that goes into it. That's my jam. You know that. If you've been to my channel, you already know. If you don't know, now you know. Here you go. So yeah, I can't just be fake hype about something even though it's a big show. I'll check out the halftime show, the replay, whenever, or I'll tune in if I'm available. But I like Kendrick Lamar. He's put out some quality work, and he put on a very, very thought-provoking performance with Samuel L. Jackson having a wonderful speech to set the mood, enhance the situation. Because if you listen to his song, They Not Like Us, it is not just a diss track. I think focusing on that is not going deep enough into the song. He addresses a lot of stuff and he tackles things very, very eloquently and smart. And he had a lot of great imagery. Now, he quoted one of my favorite artists, father or godfather or grandfather of hip hop to come and rap, spoken word, singer, musician, pianist, Gil Scott-Heron. My favorite song of his is I Think I'll Call It Morning. That is such a beautiful song. It soothes my soul and gives me hope that everything's going to be all right just because you choose to look towards the light. A beautiful song. Check it out. Also, check out the song Whitey on the Moon. I rat done bit my sister Nels with Whitey on the Moon. That is a good one to start with. Then I would like you to try and check out The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. It's very, very important. Because as even Ricky Starks, which I heard and saw the clip that he's in NXT now, it's kind of something you'd see. Not to get too much into pro wrestling, but I've noticed a lot of people from AEW who are very close with Cody Rhodes or friendly with CM Punk tend to move on to another business. But hey, it's great. More work for pro wrestlers. That's a win. May they be happy. I bring up Ricky Starks because he has this slogan that the revolution will be televised, or the revolution is televised. That's like his thing. And I've heard, you probably have heard it too. The revolution has been televised, or the revolution is televised in other shows, other sayings. I think you even heard it a bit in Black Panther. I personally do not like that. I've said that before on my channel because that is missing the point. That is looking at the title and taking it from there. Now, I don't think Kendrick Lamar was going in that direction, actually. His song, his performance was very, very thought-provoking, and I was impressed that he did it in front of our president. Very, very cool. Very, very deep. Now, but still, the most profound thing about that is saying that the revolution is televised or will be televised. Didn't happen. The revolution was a dancer carrying a flag, two flags, Sudan and Palestine, with Sudan and Gaza written on it. Dancing, running around, everyone's cheering. People saw that. People saw that. You cannot not see that. Now, you could probably see it on some of the footage in the background if you get your Where's Wally, Where's Waldo, I Spy book skills and look for it. You could probably find it here and there, but it was not focused and it was not on camera. Why? Because the television will not show that. Because the revolution will not be televised. Televised being the news media, the entertainment in media, which is all the same thing, really. Anything that makes commercial revenue on TV is commercial and can be bought. So you may have your favorite news channels, watch them and think you're smart, but you're only getting a third of the cup, maybe a fourth of the cup filled. You're missing a lot because all that information that's given to us is filtered, is censored, because they're not trying to keep you up to date. They're trying to keep you in line. They're trying to hide certain truths. And if anything I've learned and relearned and unlearned these past 15 months is it is dangerously censored. The truth is hidden because it doesn't fit the overall narrative, which ultimately leads down to the industrial war complex. That's what fuels a lot of corporations and industries to get a lot of money for the top 1% type of people. Not you, not me, but we do pay for it. So the revolution will never be televised because that system, when it's in place, as it has been for a while, we will never get the full story from them. We have to dig and do our own homework and see what's going on for ourselves. We'll go to other outlets that aren't part of this infectious industrial machine. And what's beautiful about technology, and there's also some bads, of course. We can go into that soon. But the cool thing about the technology of communication is not just that we're stuck to our phones, being fed information, misinformation, entertainment, distractions, shopping. Now, or gaming even. I can't leave that out. We are glued to our phones a lot, and you can see it when you're walking around. Try this where you don't hold your phone in public at all for one day and look around you and see how many people are plugged in, you know? So the beauty of it, though, is that we have at the touch of our hands, in our palms, a window to communicate with other people, a window to see other people's lives, a window to see what's going on around the world, in our neighborhood, in our nation. And I mean that in an informative way, because what has helped spread the truth of what's happening in occupied Palestine is the witnesses, the footage of the victims, the testimonials, the evidence of the fact that this is not a war going on in the last 15 months. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a genocide. I don't know if that's been watered down for you, but it is a very, very real thing, scary thing, horrible thing, unholy thing, unethical thing, wrong thing, and criminal. And the ugly truth is that it's continuing because our tax dollars, our politicians in power that we voted for, whether we feel like we had a choice or not, they are there and they've established themselves to continue this cult of a club for them at our expense and at the expense of innocent lives. Imagine if the people in Iraq and Afghanistan, when America was sending troops over there, killing civilians, if we saw the truth coming out, maybe we'd be in a different place right now. However, there was no access to all that. And as usual, the truth of certain horrors, of certain attacks, certain killings in villages, like there was a story of 4 soldiers in Afghanistan who had a game out of killing civilians that they saw, and where they cut the fingers off of any civilian they killed. and whoever had the most kills was ahead of the game. Those soldiers were caught and punished for that cruelty. But we've seen more evidence of such cruelty to other human beings because they were labeled the terrorist. They were labeled the bad guy. So anyone of that ethnic demographic of who you label as a bad guy, you just treat like a piece of crap and kill them, abuse them, hurt them. So here we are with what's going on in Palestine. The dancer was well and ready to dance and wave that flag at the Super Bowl halftime. And people cheered and danced with him until he was caught. Authorities trying to press charges, but ultimately they just banned him from NFL shows and stadiums. To some people, that's horrible. But with the things going on around the world right now, especially in Palestine and our dollar, that guy's a hero. That guy represented the revolution, and the revolution was not televised. They didn't focus on him. You have to go on social media to hear him out. You have to see a little interview, sometimes on the news, with a different narrative and tone. Because if you see the one from Al Jazeera, where he had an interview, it's more in depth, more asking about him. Where the other one was like, "How could you?" Da, da, da. Very different. Watch him back to back. You'll see the man stood for something very, very important for humanity, for other people. Was that televised on the Super Bowl? Only if you spotted it in the background. But it was never in full focus. See, it's not a trendy, hip, cool thing to be for the liberation of people, to fight for or stand up for people's equal rights and freedom in their homeland. That's what it's about. Genocide shouldn't happen to anyone. That's what it's about. This stuff seems like common knowledge to me, common sense. However, it's shunned upon. It's labeled as hate speech. Standing up for people's equal rights and freedom is labeled hate speech, yet the KKK in America has yet to be labeled hate speech. And the KKK has yet to be labeled a terrorist group. Yet, when they have little rallies, the local police officers and law enforcement protect them. You know, that's telling. Look it up, do your homework. It's not a thing of the past. There's other hate groups, of course. I just don't understand how standing up for other people is hateful. I don't understand how Christians, Muslims, Jews, atheists, agnostics, Hindus, Buddhists, so many people are marching in the protests with me and many, many others, saying it's wrong to kill innocent people, saying it's wrong to kill children, and that is labeled hate speech. That is labeled anti-Semitic. Semitic, which includes Hebrews and Arabs. The fact that this government is labeling anti-Semitism only for one group, but not Arabs, is racist in itself, in print. Because again, you're elevating one group, ethnic group, and you're lowering another ethnic group, but not even acknowledging them. That exists in the very definition. So the thing is, with all these horrible atrocities of killing civilians, it comes to light, or the full story comes out later. Why? Maybe the truth finally made its way up to the top. No, 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 no. It's because by the time the truth comes out, it doesn't matter to change a thing. When bad people, bad organizations, bad groups, bad people in power, bad cults, oh no, cults are bad. So it's like they get what they want to a point where when the truth does finally come out, it's too late to do a thing about it. It's too late to change anything. It's too late for those who are guilty of crimes to face the consequences of their actions and go to jail for life. I'm against killing. Throw him in jail and forget about the key, that's cool. Which brings me to recently. So, this killing of Palestinians has been going on for a long time. Since the founding of the terrorist state of Israel. I'm calling it what it is. After everything I've caught up on and more that I found out, it is atrocious. By now, if anyone doesn't know about their crimes, it is by choice, an ignorant choice or a fearful choice. You have a violent apartheid government trying to ethnically cleanse the land of Palestinians and put in their supremacist ethnic group from all around the world to overpopulate the area. And there's token peoples of color who bow down to the supremacy. We've seen them. I know them. I don't know why some people bow down to supremacy where the ideology elevates others and puts you down. Do people who choose to be like quote tokens of supremacy is the logic to be rewarded for loyalty and never be a target or be last to be targeted? Get a little hall pass while other people suffer? It's bothersome to me. Because ethnic cleansing, either through displacement, abduction, or murder, mass murder, as we've seen in the past 15 months. Look at my channel, look at my Instagram while it's still up. I'm walking a thin line sometimes where I'm going to be canceled by the corporations because I'm speaking too much. Not just me, but other people. My buddy, well, he's not my buddy, but we've talked a few times through DMs, and I love his content, but he's been canceled. You can't find it. Ryan's a Ghost spoke the truth with such passion and straight on the point. I wish I could be eloquent. Maybe one day I will. But check out people like Owen Jones, and we're very, very wonderful at being eloquent about this information. They've been covering it a lot longer than I have and in further detail. Mohams is also one of them. There's so many. So many. But while I have a platform, while I have a voice, while there's air coming in and out of my lungs, while there's blood pumping through my veins, I'm going to always do my best to stand up for what is right and what I believe in. And mass slaughtering innocent people is never an answer. Because that's what's been going on for 15 months and 76 years. Feel free to check out my Instagrams, go through it. Feel free to look at my videos where I cover this. My series, Voices for Hadza, and also in this podcast series, some episodes have been dedicated to this, even in my variety shows. So the other main problem is that the United States of America, my government, your government, my fellow Americans, is in full support of this genocidal regime, this illegal occupation of people, violently so. Worse, far worse than the Nazis. That's something you never think would be possible, but it is. And it's not just this part of the world. Congo, Sudan, Yemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I've heard, and maybe a part of me can maybe understand, it's like so far away, there's nothing we can do, or maybe it's so far away, it's not my business, not my problem, I'm here, I gotta focus on me. Why should I care? Because all of this is affecting us. While our students go to colleges, paying crazy amounts of tuition, getting their degrees, and going into the world already in debt, while our money, taxes, goes to another country that is ethnically cleansing people, and they get free education, but we don't get free education. One of the key things the students were protesting at the encampments last year was the fact that collectively all the universities, and I might be, off on the numbers a little bit, please correct me, that's totally fine, but it was around $30 to $35 million collectively the universities gave to the illegal occupation. All that money is our students' money that's supposed to be going into their education, but a huge chunk of that is going to another country so they can have free education. Now you got to think, wow, it's pretty amazing to go to a place where things are cheaper. You get an allowance, you get free healthcare, you get free education. That's amazing, right? Why is it so good? Because there's a goal. They want a certain group of people to be there to populate it, to flush the others out. And the disgusting part is our country has been part of this society to make sure that that country happens. And these meetings, these groups started a long time ago in 1919, maybe around before that. Zionism is Nazism. Zionism is Nazism 2.0. Just like Benjamin Netanyahu is Adolf Hitler 2.0. That's not a hot take. He's been caught lying, saying that when Israel was established, there was no one there. Then the Arabs came. When there's been lots and lots of proof, photographic and in video, of Palestinians living there for a long time in peace. Also, amongst Jews, Christians, and the Muslims were all getting along. There's proof of that in Bibles. 1800s Bibles that have maps. Palestine has been there for a long time. Indiana Jones fans can know. But this guy says no otherwise. He's selling a lie. He's full of it. I'm really trying not to curse here. So why I bring that up is because every American president that I know, minus JFK, JFK towards the end, as Candace Owens has highlighted, who's behind that with document proof. Every president has been devoted to that terrorist country, that terrorist state of Israel, amongst the innocent Palestinian people who have resistance fighters fighting for them. We are spoon-fed from our media, news media, as I said, it's the same, that such and such are the good guys and such are the terrorists, when it's like simply reversed. The ones that are told to be the good guys and allies are actually the terrorists, and the ones that are the terrorists are just resistance fighters. So, if you voted for whoever, I don't think it's your fault. It can't be anyone's fault. We are advertised two wings of the same bird. You vote blue, you vote red, either one. It just chooses the type of color who gets in office, who has the same boss, which is another country, another government, and we pay for them. And what do they do with our money? They kill innocent people. They spread terror, and that comes from IDF soldiers who said that. You can see my channel again. I go over all this. So our government is purposely playing stupid or being blind on certain things to not address the crimes of that country, other than to address the needs of that government. I'm going to play a clip I want you to listen to. It's very important, or see if you are able to. It is Israeli author and Pulitzer Prize winner Nathan Tull on the show Center Stage some time ago. Listen.
No matter who is the American president, Israeli settlements are going to continue. Israeli land confiscation is going to continue. The arrest of Palestinians without charge or trial is going to continue. All of those things are continuing no matter who is the American president. Now, under Trump, it's possible that they will get even worse. And based on the people he has appointed, who are even unwilling to call the occupation of the West Bank an occupation, people who are referring to those lands as Judea and Samaria, like the settlers do, we have every indication that Trump plans to allow Israel to ramp up its slow motion colonization of the West Bank, which is happening less slowly. The long-standing U.S. policy is to support Israel basically no matter what. And this war could not have been conducted without U.S. support. The majority of the bombs dropped are U.S. bombs. And the U.S. had all the leverage in the world and could have ended it a very long time ago, and it didn't. And, there needs to be a real change in U.S. politics, in the kind of pressure that's brought to bear by people who are horrified by what's been happening on the U.S. government to make sure that policy changes and that this doesn't happen in the future.
So that's like the best thing we got going, that this doesn't happen in the future. I want this to not happen now. Ladies and gentlemen, in the past 13 months, we've seen, and we have available footage and proof. Snipers taking out nurses, medical staff, healthcare workers, journalists, men, women, children. Children. Snipers taking out children. Quadcopter drones dropping bombs on people. The playground massacre, dropping a bomb on children. Is that how you fight terrorism? No, that's terrorism. White phosphorus spread out around civilian areas, dense populated areas. Bombing, carpet bombing people. Hellfire missiles shot at people. And I've gone over that. The Hellfire missile with blades coming out, chopping people. It sounds like something crazy from Mortal Kombat. And it is bloody. It is vicious. And they've been doing this on all these innocent people. 500,000 people are dead in an area where the majority is children. The majority of the age group that's killed is around 5 to 9. Or are you calling that young men and women? Man. And this has gone on for 15 months, and our government has denied it, has lied about it. The 40 beheaded babies was proven wrong, even by Israel. And then Biden didn't even face the consequences for saying a lie that got everyone riled up to go, yes, go to war, kill all these people, da, da, da. And no one even flinched when they started mowing down civilians. Some people still don't flinch now. People don't care. I take that back. A lot of people do care. But there's not enough. There's too many that don't care, that are just fine with this. Including our president, including the people he's put in positions of power. One of them is even saying the West Bank doesn't even exist. Is he predicting the future of the plans where it doesn't exist? They wipe them all out. So taking hostages is a horrible thing. Anyone who does that, I do not condone that. Killing civilians, I do not condone that. However, if you look at the negatives, and you do compare and contrast, the more crimes that's done is done by the terrorist state of that illegal occupation. Where they sexually abuse 60%, around that number, of the children that they have in captivity. The hostages, the Palestinian hostages that they label prisoners. Because if you look at prisoner, you think, oh, they deserve to be there. You look at hostage, the word, they don't belong to be there. See, that's a war, a narrative war. Again, our media, they tell you how to feel. Some of you accept it. So, in the events of October 7th, more and more footage is coming out that the Israeli forces killed their own people during the Hannibal Directive. I got more footage of it, just like the footage I posted last year. And it's not my footage, it's evidence that got around, you know? Of them killing their own people, and one on the comm saying, okay, we're going to blame Hamas. This is disgusting, people. How can America trust an ally that doesn't even take care of their own people? Like, as far as everything I've learned, and you could probably say this conspiracy theory or not, but if you look at the details, all the time you look at the events and the details of how 9/11 happened, it gets closer to Israel. As soon as that happens, silence. There's a wall. You can't get past that. I do miss that Trump. He was calling them out that we shouldn't have gone to Afghanistan and all that, that we were played. But we lost that guy. I didn't trust him when he was having that debate with Biden, and he called him a dirty Palestinian, derogatory of a whole ethnic group. And he's already openly racist. And people have normalized that and been okay with that. So you give racism, a racist in a position of power, leeway. For whatever reason, I don't know. Shocking entertainment? That's not enough to be a leader. So when Trump welcomes Adolf Hitler 2.0 with open arms into America and not arrest him, he failed. It's over. Whatever you may agree or disagree with what Trump is doing, he's already failed. He's a failure of a United States president. I believe he should be in jail, but hey, again, the system is set up to protect that apartheid legal occupation and to ethnically cleanse, allow them and help them ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people out so they could get their people in. Get the precious gas that's there. Get a hotel resort. Very cheap and exciting. Oh, beautiful seas. Wow. Just don't think about the bones and the dead bodies underneath the ground. Have your Mai Tai on the beach and go, ooh, this is such a great vacation. Not knowing the echoes of the screams of men, women, and children with our tax dollars that killed them. We have the King of Jordan wants to take thousands of children from Gaza into Jordan to protect them. So now you're looking at ripping families apart. True, I don't want to see children die. But the answer to the problem isn't getting Palestinians out, because all they do is die to you. Well, who's killing them? Who are the murderers? IDF is murdering these people. Who's leading them? The war criminals, Netanyahu and his cronies. They all belong in jail. Yet, our government gives them a red carpet and protects them. They need the land that's there. There's no talk about rebuilding the Palestinians' homes that were taken from them, destroyed from them. No, they're talking about getting the Palestinians out because all they do is die. It's not healthy for them, according to the president. So rebuild it so other people can be in there. Why is it that the Palestinian people always have to be punished for the crimes that Israel does to them? If this is all feeling bad about what happened to the genocide to the Jewish people in Nazi Germany, why did the Palestinians have to pay that price? They didn't do it. They welcomed them. So I'm bringing this up because something's really bothersome to me, and I see a very, very dangerous part 2 of Nakba 2 happening. So killing civilians and all this, when this genocide started, not a war, a genocide, there's around 150 plus Israeli hostages the resistance fighters took. And Israel has had around 7,000 to 9,000 Palestinian hostages, the ones that are labeled prisoners. So this is a toxic hostage exchange that has happened for a while. This isn't the first one. This is by design an Israeli situation. And resistance fighters, it's been proven that they've been taking good care of the Israeli hostages. They're high-fiving their captives on the way out. Whereas Palestinian hostages that are labeled prisoners, they are tortured, abused. The kids are sexually abused. Their skin is taken because they got to have their big skin banks so celebrities like Sandra Bullock can look young longer. They rape the men, they rape the women, they rape the children. And when they rape them, and they do it in front of their family members and threaten them to keep looking, or they will kill them if they don't watch their loved ones be sexually abused. And it was voted that the military has a right to rape prisoners. They voted for a right to rape. That is a real thing. How can that society be anything that is good. It cannot. Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, this is nothing from some Hunger Games crazy supervillain fictional book. This is real life, and it is disgustingly real and happening right now. And our government supports it. Everything's out in the open. So what do we hear from our government? They just avoid these crimes. One of the representatives who vetoed the ceasefire. Remember when someone asked him a question? He was being interviewed after a meeting. They said, well, what are the crimes of Israel? And the guy said, I don't know what you're talking about. They just ignore the crimes. So I guess if you ignore the crimes, they never happen, right? Wow. If you say something else happened when it didn't, I guess that's the truth. It's whatever you want to write it to be. Just like Benjamin Mikulski is rewriting history. And I guess because he rewrote history, that's the way it goes, huh? So, slaughtering people didn't get any hostages out. And that's a bad situation to have hostages anyways, but slaughtering innocent people did not free any hostages or help the situation. And when I say hostages should be freed, I mean all the Israeli hostages should be freed, and all the Palestinian hostages should be freed. Not this ceasefire, but the one before it, when they released Palestinian hostages. What did that government do? They take more Palestinian hostages to refill it. They let some 100 go, they take some 100 back. Or they fill it up with more 100. Man. It's painful. And it is all on our tax dollars. Man. So we're here with this ceasefire. People are celebrating in Gaza. I like to follow Bissam, see how she's doing. She's documented her time in Gaza. She got an award for a documentary, well earned, and she's happy to go home. And the ceasefire gave hope to a lot of people. And guess who violated it? Oh, surprise, surprise. Israel violated it. They removed boots from the ground in the area, yet they had snipers take out men, women, children. They shot them. And while they did that, they attacked West Bank. Around 30 or 40,000 displaced. And some of them were killed, abducted, taken as hostages, or, as our media likes to call them, prisoners. Settlers are free to steal, kill, and abuse and take what they want. Still. But, you know, the ceasefire didn't cover West Bank, so they just have their killing spree there and their raids and attacking people. 2 Palestinian shop owners of a bookstore were arrested because they had a bookstore. Rewind to America's history where black men and women weren't allowed to read. It was a crime for them to read and know how to read. Look at that and look at what's going on now. How's that any different? Is that the make this nation great again by going back to that apartheid where one ethnic group is above, the others below? That's disgusting. Man. So, Israel's also violated the agreement by killing Palestinians. What did the resistance fighters say? They said, okay, the hostage deals are off because you violated the ceasefire. The resistance did not violate the ceasefire. Israel did. And Israel's supposed to be the good guys here, right? But they just couldn't help themselves but kill children, kill more Palestinians. It's like a reflex of them, or a good duty service to their faith or whatever. God's chosen can kill whoever they want, no problem. So, because the terrorist state broke the ceasefire agreement, what does America do? Give an ultimatum to the resistance. So again, we're at the same scenario. The illegal occupation breaks the rules, and the victims, the innocent ones, have to pay the price. The other side has to pay the price for the actions of the legal occupation that America just has to take care of. The United States of the illegal occupation, ladies and gentlemen. It is shocking. It's so shocking every day. Yet, us who are protesting and shouting for freedom and equal rights of the Palestinian people and the right of return to their homes and their homeland, we, the people who are marching, made up of Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Jews, atheists, agnostics, I said this before, all people agree on this. Of course, you'll see another group of people that don't agree. The Zionists, the Zionists this, Zionists that, that's all Zionists. Or subgroups of Zionism supporting the Zionism. Yet us saying free Palestine are labeled hate speech. My gosh. So, this Sunday, according to our president, all hell will break loose. As if all hell broke loose, or as if all hell didn't break loose for 15 months. So you're saying there's going to be more? It's going to be worse? That's one promise I think he will fulfill. Damn. I dread what's coming Sunday because I think it's something that they already knew was going to happen. When Benjamin Milkowski Netanyahu, Adolf Hitler 2.0 was laughing and smiling and grinning next to Trump, talking about Palestine. He's just giggling and giddy because he's like, haha, I can do whatever I want. It's like the ending of The Omen, where the little kid gets away with everything, the kid being the devil. I think they knew for a long time the ceasefire was just temporary, maybe just to make things feel good and peaceful so people can enjoy the Super Bowl. You know, sometimes these big events are just to make sure all eyes on one spot, or to distract you to look at an event like the Oscars and not look at the crimes going on in Gaza, the crimes going on in occupied Palestine. This is why the revolution will not be televised. And also going forward, all these laws, all these stigmas, all this narrative war against people standing up for equal rights and freedom of people and no genocide on anyone, no matter who you are, we're labeled bad. There'll be more restrictions. Why? So maybe by the time this all hell that breaks loose, the evidence will be limited or silenced or censored. So the horrible horrors that await innocent people will not be seen as much as they've been shown before. Ethnic cleansing, by mass murdering people, abducting people, or displacing them, splitting families apart, these are all horrible things. They're all bad. And our government can't wait to do it. Oh, man. I pray every day. I pray every day that God will do something. But then I also think, God has given us everything we need and has blessed us with everything we need. Honestly, what's keeping this going on is man. The only ones who could stop it is all of us together. All our voices unified. One strong voice that rumbles the land, that people can hear what is right and wrong. Maybe that could stop it, but what are we all doing? Yeah, we got to pay the bills. Life is hard. Prices are skyrocketing because a lot of the money has to go to this illegal occupation that we're funding. Man. You know, at these protests, one of them I've been to, a doctor from Gaza was there. He was saying that the Palestinians know exactly who's killing them and with what. So it's pretty hard to miss. They see the weaponry with U.S. symbols and flags and language on it. They know it's American weapons. They know it's Israel murdering them. The whole world knows it. But the doctor said what gives the kids hope, what gives the Palestinian people hope, are the protests in America. Specifically America. Because on one hand, they see the weapons that's killing them, that's shredding their loved ones to pieces, are American made. Yet, when they check out what's going on in the world, the people in the country making weapons to kill them and sending troops on the ground to kill them are Americans. And that gives them hope. That makes me feel like I could probably make a difference in stopping them from being murdered. The more I vocalize what's going on, the more I share with you. And you, listening to me right now, please just listen. I believe in my heart and soul, and I've said this before, if you hear all this, I believe that you will know what's the right thing to do, what you can do to help spread awareness, take part in helping voice up that this must stop. We must divest from the illegal occupation, the terrorist state of Israel. We must sanction them. We must arrest these war criminals. Not just because it's the right thing to do, but God is seeing all this. You cannot, in your right mind, if you believe in God or not, you cannot be in your right mind that side with an Adolf Hitler of our time. That is worse. It's like, oh, I don't get it. How is murderers and tyrants of that nature acceptable when we know it's wrong? Is it our prejudice, our ignorance? We cannot think outside what was told to us before, who's good or bad, because then I have to do something, and I don't know, I don't want to lose my job. I've been there. So, but I also have to live with myself. I have to answer to God when I die. For everything I've done, everything I didn't do, everything I should do, everything is going to be measured. Not just doing this for God's sake. It's good to help people. How could we be okay with innocent people being murdered? Children being murdered and mutilated and abused. How is that okay? So, come Sunday, no matter what happens, I think and I dread that it's going to get worse. Because it was meant to always get worse. Why would Why else would Israel be so confident to break the ceasefire agreements early on and continuously? Even last week, Benjamin Malkowski was saying that he doesn't see the ceasefire being a long-lasting thing. He was confident of it, talking to his people. And you know what? There's so many people around the world trying to get this message across, but are these people in power in such a vacuum of a bubble where they can just see wealth and success and they don't care about the human lives that they tread on? Just more money, more profit. They're in it for their long run, their little utopia, racist utopia that they're trying to build over there with your tax dollars and mine. Man. It's going to get worse. And they're dead set on having what they want. And that does not include the Palestinians being there. They will displace them. They will kill them. They will abduct them, abuse them, and kill them. That is their goal. And then, once they do that, they will have the land. They're using religion to justify it. They're rewriting history to maintain it. And they're using our tax dollars and our weapons to secure it. What are you standing for? So because Israel broke the ceasefire agreement, the resistance fighters are met with an ultimatum, and the Palestinian people are the targets as always. And this is why the revolution will not be televised. This is why you will not see this in mainstream media until years later when they go over the truth, when it doesn't even matter anymore. Whether it is a free Palestine in the future and justice prevails, or there is no Palestine in the future, wiped out, and injustice prevails. Either way, the truth is going to come out when it doesn't matter and it's not good enough to do anything. It's too late. I don't like that. And our media is in on it to protect this narrative. And that is why the revolution will not be televised. The revolution is going to be real. It's going to happen with everyone worldwide. Because it's already happening. That's why I feel this pedal to the metal of speeding up the settling and killing people is at such a violent, alarming rate. Because they can't keep this for long. So they have to meet their end goals of ethnic cleansing as soon as possible. Because the longer it takes for them to ethnically cleanse occupied Palestine, the greater chances there are of stopping the legal occupation, the greater chances there are in stopping ethnic cleansing, the greater chances there are in stopping genocide. And this great 1% of this military industrial complex cannot afford that, because they'll lose their money, they'll lose their land, they'll lose their profits, they'll lose their racist utopia that they're trying to build upon the dead bodies and bones of innocent people. So yeah, I'm worried, I'm bothered, I'm disgusted, I'm disheartened. But I have faith in humanity, and I'm always going to try voicing what's true. And I really, really thank you so much for listening to me. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to just say, It's not really activism. It's not really politics to me. It's just being a good human being and doing what's right for other human beings, for all of us. We're in this together. Those aren't just Palestinians. Those are our Palestinian people, our Muslims, our Christians, our Jews. We are all in this together. We have to save each other. No killing anyone, please. No stealing from anyone. No. These are commandments given to us by God, whether you believe God or not. If you don't believe, you know logically this is wrong. But this is a system that's been in here for a long time. And the sooner we all know what's going on, we can take their power away. So, a lot's weighing on my heart. Really take time to think about all this. This is very important. The next few days is going to be really, really long and heavy for me. It should be for all of us. So the people who are in power who can't stop this won't. And the rest of us may feel powerless, but we have to keep voicing up. Go to peaceful protests, spread awareness, call these people out, call your representatives. Use your art to express the truth, like Kendrick Lamar. Stand up for the people who are being oppressed. Stand up for justice, truth, and freedom. That's what America should be for. Not for guns, oil, and land. I wish you all a good day. I love you. God bless. I'll catch you next time. Thank you again so much for listening to this. If you made it through this far, I really, really, really appreciate it. I'll be doing more focused episodes on this as long as it takes, as much as it takes. Whatever I can to help stop these war crimes from being normalized and legalized. I wish you a beautiful day. I love you. Thank you. God bless, and I'll see you next time. I am